Have you been to a chiropractor or wanted to go to a chiropractor, have degeneration, and wondered how can chiropractic care help? Don't worry, you're not alone. This is a common question that we get. Hi, my name is Dr. Matthew Collins. I'm a chiropractor. I'm board certified in rehabilitation and I'm fellowship trained in primary spine care. Dealing with how does chiropractic care work in degeneration is a common question that we get. Now, this is part 4 of a 4-part series. And in the first 3 parts, we discussed how chiropractic care works in terms of helping at the individual joint levels and how it helps with the ligaments in the area, the communication with the rest of the body, and then how it works with the brain. All of those videos apply to somebody that has degeneration, but specifically people with degeneration, they have some additional questions that are quite understandable. You see, they wonder, how does the degeneration begin? And while we don't always know why, one thing we do know for sure, that degeneration is usually due to wear and tear. You know, if your spine isn't lined up the way that it's supposed to, it just actually wears out faster. If you think about it, it happens that way mechanically with cars. You know, if the front end is out of alignment, you can still drive it for a while, but boy, you're going to take off metal a lot faster and you're going to wear bearings out a lot faster than you would if the car was aligned. Research over the last few decades has started to support what chiropractors have noticed over the last 100 years. Proper alignment makes a big difference with degeneration. So why does this matter? You know, the bones of the spine are not just randomly stacked up. They are put in a certain position. There's a certain alignment with all the joint angles, and they fit like the gears on a Swiss watch. They fit together, and then they communicate with the rest of the body. And if the bones don't line up the right way, communication is disrupted, the body doesn't work well, and then when you move, the movement is there, but it can be poor movement, and then it starts to wear things out. You're going to get extra motion in some spots, which leads to wear and tear. You're going to get not enough motion in other spots, which leads to a different type of wear and tear. All of this uneven wearing and tearing produces effects on the body that lead to degeneration. So there was a study that was done where they took about 400 people and they put them in an MRI and they looked at the curves in their lower back. There was 3 groups of people. There was people that had curves that were flat or reversed. There was people that had normal curves, and then there were people that had curves that were too much. Now, you can see behind me here, we see the spine where there's all the different curves right there. There is another video series that I did. You can go look at it. It's called Normal Spine Anatomy, and it goes through the different regions with the different curves and what they're supposed to have. So you can go take a look at that. But they took a look at the different parts of the spine, and they wanted to see what happened. So the spines that were too flat, the spine tended to wear out at the bottom of the curve. So for example, with the lower back, right at where the low back ends, right down near the pelvis. Now for spines that had too much of a curve, they tended to wear out in the middle of the curve or even up a little bit higher. And then the spines that had the normal curves, they had the least amount of wear and tear. So this is an example of how normal alignment can change the way the body wears and tears. So if you see a chiropractor and the alignment is improved and the wear and tear decreases, you know, there's no guarantees of the future, but the likelihood of you making a positive impact on your spine is very, very high. At a minimum, you can expect to have some pain reduction, and you can even expect to have some improvement in your overall range of motion and function. And wouldn't it be nice if there was even some changes in the wear and tear of your spine? You have many different videos to pick from. I'm honored that you chose this one to watch. Thank you so much, and until we meet again, have a blessed day.